I've never met a pumpkin that I don't just love. Happy fall, everyone. Well, I did it. I've been wanting to, so anxious to try it, nervous about what it might bring in way of results, but I did it. I finally taught an entire chapter in my 4th grade classroom without using our textbooks at all, without using one single worksheet. That chapter was the first chapter of the year on place value, which included rounding. I had a couple games in my collection already, and I went and found 2 more that I made videos for, actually. So if you're interested in those, wonderful Stanley will link those so that you can watch them if they would at all be helpful to you. They can even be used as review if you've already long past that first chapter. You can just keep reinforcing these throughout the year with these games. But we did it. And after 4 weeks of this, I realized, I really do want to see how they're doing. I want to take their temperature, is what I told them. I said, I want to take your temperature today. I didn't even give them any advance warning. They just came ready for our day of math. And I said, you know what? I think today I want to just see how you're doing, to see what you're missing, what I need to fill in, what I can do better. And so we're just going to take a little temperature. And what I did is I went into the book and looked at their assessment. And I never use assessments that come with any book anyway, because for one thing, they're too long. I don't want to spend 30, 45 minutes on assessing when I can get the same results in 20 minutes. And then we can spend the remainder of that time either reviewing a previous concept or learning something new. So I'm accustomed to making my own tests. I usually will glean problems from the book, and that's what I absolutely did with this case. I took the 10, what I thought were the 10 richest, best questions, and wrote them out on a piece of paper because my computer skills don't allow me to create something fancy like this. And I learned last year that my students like to take their assessments in my writing anyway, their math assessments. So that was an interesting thing to learn last year. Josiah taught me that last year. And here we go. Those are our 10 questions, and I gave it to them, graded it that night, and here are the results. 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. They're not all 10s. Well, that one is. There are, oh, that one is too, sorry. They're not all 9 out of 10. There we go, 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. There was one 6 out of 10, and this student came very late into the school year and missed out on a lot of our activities. So I'm attributing that situation to his coming late. And then there were 2 7 out of 10s, sure enough. I can't even call this an experiment because I don't have a random sampling. It's probably full of biases. I don't have a frequency table. I didn't take into account reliability, validity. I didn't do any of that. I did do mean. I did do one statistical analysis of mean, and you know what the mean score was? 88%. And I told my students that, and I explained to them that, you would hope that your mean score would be around in the 70s somewhere. But an 88 mean is pretty darn good. And we rejoiced together in this. And am I going to do it for Chapter 2? I'm dying to do it for Chapter 2. Because Chapter 2 is simply adding and subtracting of whole numbers. And I have so many activities ready to go for that. I don't need the book to teach this concept. And so I'm going to try it again. And I'll let you know what the results are. Maybe it'll be a bomb. I don't know. There will come a point, I am sure, when we will use our books. I'm quite sure of it. If you saw a previous video, you saw that my books didn't come at the beginning of the year, and I was totally fine with that because I hadn't planned on using them for the first month of school. But they have arrived. Volume 1, and when you finish Volume 1, you're rewarded with Volume 2, which is a lot of books times all my students. And where are we going to store all of these things? So I keep volume 1 in their cubbies, and then volume 2 I just have put in their desks. I did that last year too, because we don't use our desks for storage. We use our cubbies. We have those kinds of old school desks that they're on the hinge and they rise up. So anytime you have to go into your desk, you have to brace all your materials. So we just don't use our desks, the inside, the interior of our desks. So we store them in there. And I had a high school student with me that day who was helping me, was getting the names with Sharpies on all the books and was distributing them to the cubbies and their desks. And I need to tell you about Walter. Walter sits in the very front row, right by me. He's the closest one to me. And I came with the book. I said, Walter, open up your desk so we can put this in your desk for storage. And Walter's face, his countenance, looked like utter betrayal. And he looked at me and he said, you said we were going to do hands-on math this year. And I said, Walter, we are. That's all we've been doing. He goes, then why are you giving us these? And I said, well, Walter, would you rather we don't do any workbooks at all for the whole year? And he said, with the most sincere eyes you can imagine, yes, that's what I think. And, I just had to crack up because it was, I don't know if I will have an equally priceless moment in my classroom this year as that moment. We'd been doing hands-on math. He'd been learning and loving it. And then, the teacher throws in 2 volumes of this, and you could see he was getting a little bit nervous. I think that we teachers need to give ourselves permission to experiment. And I know this is not an experiment that I just did. I did do, a case study. What did I just do? And I gave you some data, but I know it's not an experiment. But to try some new things. When we get these books, I think that we think, someone spent thousands of dollars on this material for us, and we have to use it. And I think that we can all agree there is security in pre-packaged programs. There is. But do we have to use it all the time? Can we have worksheetless Mondays or Wednesdays? Worksheetless Wednesdays, I guess, would sound better. I think it's okay for us to try some new things. And if it fails, it fails, and that's okay. And we need to share with our students, oh, you know what? This didn't work. We better go back to something that we know, because we can really serve our students well when we share with them our own failures, successes, and struggles and mistakes, because those are skills that are going to last our students a lifetime. I think one of the most important themes that I learned when I was getting my master's in child development at Cal State Los Angeles so long ago was that the work of childhood is play. And that is said by some very important people, all the way from Jean Piaget to Fred Rogers, both people that I respect in our field. And when we can take the work of math and combine it with play, I think the possibilities are powerful. There was a study conducted in 2007 that found that 90% of our students spend their time passively in school. 90% of their day is in passive learning. And that's not what I want. And I know it's not what you want for our students either. We want them to be actively engaged. And which is more active for our students, filling in a worksheet or doing a hands-on activity? And I think that the results in learning are often far deeper. Now, I know I can't say there's a correlation to my results. I can't say, they would have done better if they did hands-on math than if, they would have done worse if they had been in the book, because I didn't do a control group. I did not. But let's look at the results, dear teachers, and let's just give it a try. So this week, as you're making your lesson plans, I hope that you will look for some some alternative ways to maybe teach your lessons instead of going straight to the book. Let's look at the standard and see what needs to be taught, and then figure out what is the best way that I can help my students learn this in a fun and engaging way. I can't wait till we're together again next week, and I want to leave you with the reminder that you are a math person, your students are math people, so I'll see you soon, math person. Goodbye.